Good morning. Even after watching the film, nothing good to report from the game. I don't know. I've used different words with the players. Bad, inexcusable. Really, to me, there's no excuse for it. Totally unacceptable. Really, everything. Have been excited over the last, I guess, year, looking at last year, moving forward. That I really felt like going in these games, we at least had got it to a point where we had a 50-50 shot of winning these games. We're certainly no better than that. I think I've always said that since the last couple of years. There's a couple teams in the league I think have a better than 50% chance. But I think everybody else is in there. But the other night, I don't know. Like I said, it's inexcusable, unacceptable, and you can use a bunch of excuses, but really, even the one I think that was repeated to me isn't an excuse for sure, because we did miss a lot of practice last week. I mean, there's nothing I could do about it, nothing anybody can do about it. We missed Tuesday, got some of Wednesday, had all of Thursday, just because we had really bad weather, but it should have affected you on the back end and not the front end, in my opinion. It should have been more of a conditioning thing where the back end of the game was affected, not the front end of the game for sure. But, the 3 first-half turnovers really cost us. I felt like we had a chance to we couldn't get them off the field, obviously. They scored the first 4 times they had the ball, but I felt like we had an opportunity like we did last year in some of those games to go back and forth a little bit till we settled in on defense, and we really botched that by turning the ball over. Really, the 3 in the first half really hurt us. Like I said, we had an opportunity to go back and forth. The 2 scoring drives we did have, I mean, we just went right down the field and scored, which I said, but then the other ones were the 3 other drives were botched by turnovers, and then we made a couple mistakes on special teams that I don't even want to talk about. They're unexplainable for sure. So, all in all, just not a lot of good really. There's no doubt. I mean, we're in a tough stretch of our schedule, which we knew that before the season. I certainly knew that. And when you look at it, 6 games, 5 of them on the road, and all pretty good opponents really. With Southern Miss, A&M, Troy, Georgia State, Ole Miss, Coastal's playing good. I mean, you look at this stretch of games we're in right now, and we knew it was going to be a tough stretch, but we got to play better than that, and we got to coach better than that, and hopefully we will. But I was telling the players yesterday, if you look at it in the sense of this, I mean, it's one game, so if you have opportunity, the privilege of playing 12 of them, and it's one of them that we botched and we really wasted, but there's a lot more opportunities out there starting this week. It's a good opportunity for us again. I'm really excited. I hope the players are to go to Ole Miss. I've never been. I hear it's a fantastic place to play. They're 3-2 on the year. And they're a football team, really, when you look at them. When they're on, they're really on. And, they are very explosive on offense, I think, to say the least. When you look at them, I mean, just 500 yards a game, 37 points. They're, lots made about their wide receivers, and rightfully so, with 114, Brown, Metcalf. I think Lodge is the other of the 3, but I totaled it up last night looking at it. They already have 72 catches in 5 games between the 3 of them. It's pretty impressive, obviously. Phillips is rushing for over 100 yards a game. I really like the quarterback. When he gets in a rhythm, he's really good. In the 2 games they've lost against Bama and LSU are both really good on defense. They've kind of got him out of the rhythm, kind of got him behind the chains a little bit, but just a really good football team offensively. We know a lot about their offense. I don't think there's going to be really any secrets or anything. We have a lot of respect for Phil Longo. If you guys don't know that, Phil was the OC at Sam Houston until last year, until whatever. He's been at Ole Miss 2 years. So all the years that Mike was the DC, Phil was the OC, Kyle Ziegler, Lord, we played him at McNeese. Matter of fact, my last year at McNeese, we played him twice. So we know a lot about, Phil's a really good offensive football coach. We know a lot about what he's going to do. There's a lot of similarities, really, and he's doing it with good players, So there's not going to be a lot of mystery there. Defensively, the things I think they're doing really good is they already have 12 sacks, they already have 38 tackles for loss, and they already have 10 takeaways. So if you look at that, they have the ability to be really explosive on defense. Where the other thing that concerns me about their defense, when you look at them, when they're good, is when they have you off schedule, and because they can really rush the passer. They have some guys up front like 95 and 12 that are really good football players. So when they get you behind the chains, they're hard to handle because they just pin their ears back and they come after you. If you can stay ahead of the chains, and people have been able to move the football a little bit against them. So I think that's the biggest key for us, is to have positive plays and move the football and try to, not getting situations where they're just pinning their ears back and coming after us. When they do, they have some really good players up front on defense. So I think that'll be the big challenge for us. Defensively, I think going into the game, and it's easier said than done, but, we have to make them drive the field and don't give up just the big plays. And, like I said, they're very explosive. When you look at their wideouts, I mean, it's a scary sight. But, if we can force them to move the ball, then offensively, if we can move the ball and stay ahead of schedule, then, I think we have the opportunity maybe to have a little success on offense. So, but again, I'm certainly excited. I think the players will be excited to go over there. I noticed John put on the notes or whatever. We have some guys, from the Mississippi area, and from the state of Mississippi, and we actually have 4 guys that I'm letting them be the captains that are from that North Mississippi area. When you look at, obviously Marcus Green from Pontotoc, and then you're looking at Dee Gillespie, who's from Olive Branch, right there where we're staying in the hotel. Darian Ford is from Starkville, and then Cortez Cisco is from that Memphis area as well. So, guys that, in the words of Marcus Green, grew up going to everything Ole Miss had, and stuff. So, I know those guys will be excited. Like we had guys that were excited that were pretty much going back to their area, Texas A&M, with opportunity to go. So, anyway, I think it's a great opportunity for us. I know it's an SEC school and all that, but it's a really good opportunity, to go and play against a good team at their place and to play better than what we did last week for sure. So, questions?
Yeah. Obviously, with that kind of performance leads to some soul searching and try to pick up the pieces and move on. How have you all, set about addressing that and doing that as you get ready to go this week?
I think all you can do at this time of the year is go correct mistakes and get on the film and look at it. And from my vantage point, go back and look at, what we did and, how the practices went, what we did, and kind of look at that really. But, I think it's a good term that people use, but throughout the course of the year, especially in this stretch, there's not a lot of time for true soul searching. I mean, you turn around and you get back, and like yesterday, we were all up here very, very early in the morning, and it's back to work, and the kids come in and they have class, they have study hall, they have, so there's, sure, we talked about it a little bit yesterday about, trying to figure out and think about it, why we didn't have the energy we need. That's a curious thing to me, because to me it all, when you look at it, to me it boils down to having the right energy. And I didn't think we had the right energy in the first half of the Troy game, and I didn't think we had the right energy really in the Georgia State game, and trying to figure that out, I guess, so to speak. But again, the weeks go and they go fast, and you got to pick up the pieces and in coaching terminology, you got to turn the page, move on. You can't sit around. And like I said, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and there's not going to be any discussion today. Zero. The guys are going to come in, and it's all Ole Miss, and it's all moving ahead. So it's just the part of the season we're in. But the soul-searching part of it for me comes late at night, trying to go back through everything and stuff. But what we try to get players to do is correct mistakes and move on, because you have to, whether you win or you lose. And in my opinion, you do. You got to move on, and you can't revert back. You got to pretty much say, hey, last week's over, done with. Here's the mistakes. Let's move forward.
How do you then, kind of go in to figure out this energy problem? Because it just seems like one of those tough deals.
I think the biggest thing for me is, what I've tried to do really since I've been here, and I don't know if it's, and I keep saying energy, but energy takes in a lot of things for me. It's not just, my ability to be excited or be whatever. It's the overall thing. And, one of the things that I did talk to him about yesterday a little bit, and continue to talk to him about. I've been talking to him about it really for the 2 or 3 years I've been here. Is, get in the mindset of go make it happen. Don't wait for it to happen. And I think that's, I don't know. I mean, it's a phase I think you have to get through with players, and I still believe that there's a certain element in us. Sometimes we go out and kind of look for it and see how it's going to happen, rather than just going out on the football field and, hey, man, this is what we do, and we're about to make it happen. And we kind of but to me, that's a part of the energy or the focus or whatever, having that mentality, if that makes sense, of going out to do that. So I'm not necessarily saying it's, the fact that, we have no energy. I'm talking about the whole approach to it and the excitement going in, and the just going out and playing and attacking, and this is what we do, and this is how we do it, and we're going to set the tempo for what happens on the field, and having that mentality, and rather than having the mentality of going out and kind of standing and watching and trying to figure it out, and then you look up and, wow, man, we're already behind 14-0, and then we score, okay, we're in good shape, then they score, we're still in good shape, then we fumble, and then, then we down, and then all of a sudden, it becomes, you just can't spot people, good teams on the road, whatever. You can't spot people, it's hard enough to go spotting people like we have the last couple of weeks. You go out and spot people. We were able to come at Southern Miss, but don't forget they scored on the first play of the game. We all kind of standing there watching, and, oh, wow, they just scored. And then we made a great play on defense. Now it's 7-7. Now we're back into the game. But, A&M takes the ball and goes the length of the field and scores, right? Open and get, you just can't, Southeastern, you can't get like that. You got to go out and try to set the tempo. Like I said, it's hard to win a game, and it's really hard once you fall behind. Becomes harder and harder.
Looking at the offense, then you mentioned those drives that you did score on, where you just went up and down, you just went straight down the field. Is that the frustrating part? Is you've just seen these flashes of what this offense can be, but it just hasn't been consistent? I
think it is, and but what I'm trying to do is to, because the other night they got frustrated for the first time, and that's something that we talked about yesterday and working through. I think I saw our kids visibly get frustrated, and from an offensive standpoint, because I think they can see certain things, but when you go back and look at it too, though, Adam, I mean it's not one player, it's not one phase. This has been a cumulative effect, really, from an offensive standpoint. It's been little things here and there when it's a big penalty, it's a turnover, it's the other night, for whatever reason, that kind of was the first. We didn't even have that problem at A&M, but we missed 3 or 4 signals the other night. We don't run routes where somebody's running the flat end, the guy's standing there. And you look up, well, this particular guy missed a signal. We got 2 guys on an offensive play that pretty much almost ran into each other, but one guy missed a signal. We were driving, and then one guy missed the personnel. We went to personnel, we got a 5-yard penalty, it backs it up. Instead of it being 2nd and 6, you're on schedule, and now it's 2nd and 11. It's just a bunch of little things like that are frustrating, but we're trying to make sure of them. You got to work through it. And don't get frustrated, so to speak. I mean, it's frustrating, but you can't get frustrated while it's going on. I mean, you got to put it behind you and move on. And I think they feel that, because we felt like you said, I don't know, felt like we were moving the ball. I mean, we're moving the football. It's not like but those 3 turnovers really hurt.
Coach, the defense played decent in stretches versus Southeastern, and in week 2. How frustrating was it to see the defense kind of take a step back against Georgia State on Saturday? Oh,
it's frustrating, no doubt. And, because I think really the frustrating thing about it too is, you go back, they had they had a long pass play, and then they had the 2 longer runs. But the more frustrating thing really is, having the ability to get them off the field. When Troy started the game, as did Georgia State, and really as did A&M for with they're about 70%, 80% on 3rd down, and that's been something. I'm talking about the first half of those games. We've evened it out some as the game went on, but you got to get them on the field. That was the other thing too I was looking at the other day, and that's both sides. That's offense and defense. But I don't know if you realize that, but we had the ball a little over 4 minutes in the 3rd quarter and a little under 4 minutes in the 1st quarter. Man, it's hard to win like that. That's basically, you're looking at, from that standpoint, 22 minutes to, it's just, you got to have the football and you got to control the ball and you got to, but that's both sides of the ball. I always say that, when you talk about time of possession, somebody blames the defense. I mean, that's both sides. It's the offense's Its offense has to keep the ball, and the defense has to get them off the field. And we didn't do either one of them the other night. So, and it obviously showed.
Looking at the depth chart, Sloan Spiller, what's going on with him?
He's out. Yeah, he'll be out. We'll see. What kind of he has a chance possibly to come back the last few games. So he'll be out. Barry Howard will be out for sure. And then other than that, I don't know what it'll be. I think Brandis Baptiste will be back. Nick Ingram came out. We're still kind of having him looked at. I don't think doesn't seem like it's anything of lengthy variety. So he has a chance to be back. But all I really know for sure is those two guys are out. Because, matter of fact, Sloan's having surgery as we speak. So.
When you say some guys miss practice, what do you mean? Can you just kind of expand on?
What's that?
When you say some guys miss some practice, can you kind of just expand on that? What do you mean?
Miss some practice.
You mentioned missing some practice here.
Oh no, that had to do with the weather.
Okay.
No, we just had a week one of those weeks, that you're going to have. Like I said, there's no excuse. You're going to have those weeks if you're going to win. I mean, you're going to have weeks that that are hot and raining and cold and everything else. I mean, you got to overcome that. And that's what I was telling the players. If anything, that should have affected the conditioning on the back half of the game, not the front half. To me, I mean, that shouldn't affect that at all. Because we still had all of our film time and all of our, all that kind of stuff. I'm just talking about actual on-the-field stuff because we had some, one of the days we for sure, what day was that, John?
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday was almost a wash.
Yeah, Tuesday. I mean, we had a lot of rain, and we came in, tried to go back out, and then we had a lot of lightning and stuff. And, because of the, when we're practicing and stuff, we can't extend because, because we start practice late. So once you get past it, but anyway, we had a lot of meeting time. We had a lot of film time. We had actually more of that than you normally have because we were inside. So that's no excuse. That's what I'm saying. If anything, that should have affected maybe the back end, the conditioning of the game, not the front end of it for sure.
Coach, I know you're probably breaking down more film with your team, but did you get a chance of watching the Ole Miss LSU game and watch Jordan Ta'amu under center?
I did. Yeah, I watched a lot of it Saturday night, and and then obviously then the next morning watched the film. But I just I watched it, if that's what you're referring to, the other night, watching that or whatever. But I thought they had some shots, had some chances when you look at it, and give LSU credit. I mean, they just kept pressuring them and forcing them to. And LSU did a really nice job too, I thought, of controlling the ball. LSU basically turned it around. What I'm saying, I mean, LSU had the ball the whole first half, and Ole Miss didn't hardly have it, which it's good football. That's one way to keep them wideouts, where you want them is to hold the football, and LSU did a great job of that, I thought.
Bunny's all right.
Should be. I haven't got they came in yesterday, looked at them. They'll come in today a couple times, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I guess what I'm saying is, even if, nothing of the multiple game variety or nothing, it's just typical to me, bumps and bruises, and, may have to miss, may have to not miss, a little bit depending on whatever. But I think everybody else has a chance other than those two guys.
Anything else for Coach?
Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.